properly. Just look at how much more comfortable this is in an adult hand. Now scale me down to 4 to 8 years old. Imagine carrying this thing around versus this thing. I love the size of this. Now, as I've shown you, the keys don't do anything. So the only thing you can use it with is Ranger keys. And of course, another innovation that I loved is the auto flip. Because you have to do it manually with the other ones, and they're kind of heavy. But I love the fact you can just auto flick it. Just tap the bottom, and it flips up. All the keys will do essentially the same thing as I've done in my previous review, which unfortunately is now gone since they banned my Twitch account for doing non-game related stuff. This key does not want to go in there. That is so weird. There it is. It's also a bit of a tight fit. Yep, that's Mighty Morpher. And that's basically what they'll all do. So call the team name, second key turn is the sound it makes. And wow, is that thing a tight fit. Good God. Let's try Zeo. No, they're all tight fit. That's so weird. So I'll dock them a point for that. It is such a frickin' tight fit. They slid in so much smoother on the Japanese version. Obviously you get all the voices in English, but the only sounds you will get are just a call of the team name and the communicator beep. That's it. Nothing else. And while you do get a lot of extra functionality out of the box with the Henshin Kitai Mobirates, and you can do plenty of stuff without even a key, I could put in, say, 0, 2, 0, 2, 1, 4. No key whatsoever. Obviously, I'm using the wrong one, because Valentine's Day is not programmed into that one. But this one. And of course, so I showed you that. The switch on the back of here is same. Does give a very slight power on noise. And really, there's not much else to say about this. Altogether, each one of them compared against each other, I have to say that they're all roughly about the same. You know, they have their pros and their cons, which I'll go over right now. You'll actually notice here that the the Super Mega Force one uses the colors of the legendary Mega Force on the legendary one on the outside. But for the inside, it uses the color for the legendary one for the bottom plate, but for the top plate, it uses... Well, I'm completely wrong. It uses the original one's colors all around. I'm getting all flummoxed. Colors are all the same. So it's based on the original. Alright. So there we go on our mobile phones here. All told, if you don't mind the fact that it speaks in Japanese, I would actually go with the Legend Mobirates. Not only is it cheaper than the original, because it's more recently produced, and the original I don't think is in production anymore because they went on with the Legend one. The Legend one, it's got some softer sounds in some areas, like the key presses, but it's got a louder speaker all around. It recognizes more keys. Now, if you want to go with, like having the Gokai Silver key confusing the Mobirates, then obviously you have to go with the original. The new one recognizes it right off the bat, treats it with a normal Gokaija instead of Gokaija. So that's really the only big difference, aside from the key press codes, which are completely different between the two. The Super Mega Force phone is an excellent toy. It does everything it needs to do. Obviously, you lose the key presses, but it also costs a heck of a lot less. I'm basing this upon the price, the prices you'll find them now on Amazon or eBay. The Henshin Kitai Mobirates will cost you between $50 and $100 for either the original or the legendary version, or you can go up to $130. So it can be between $50 and $130. So I think the standard retail rate was about $50, but it'll cost you about $30 for the domestic one. And obviously that's not counting shipping costs. They're not even an issue. I'm talking about base retail price before tax or anything else. So you're looking at $50 versus $30. Looking at something that you have to hold in two hands as an adult versus something you can easily hold in one hand as an adult, and it's still targeted towards 8 to 14-year-olds. So Bandai America, I give a thumbs up to. I would have preferred that they kept the actual item opening gimmick to be the same, because it just doesn't look show accurate, and that kind of bugs me. But the three of them, any one of them, will do good. There are no real downsides. You'll still get all 20 teams' names shouted out at you in the domestic one. The keys are a bit tight-fitting. They're not as smooth-fitting as the imported one. But you do get them in a nice, clear voice. And it's louder if you have a key in there than if you don't, which I think is a nice addition. So really, any of them, it matters your personal preference. Do you prefer the Japanese original show from 2011? Go with that. If you prefer to have it in English, go with that. There is no one clear winner in this. They are equally good for their own merits. And that is the end of this show. Coming up next, we will be comparing... Well, we have a few things we can compare now. I got a few things in. But we can compare Gokai Saber versus its American counterpart. I have the Gokai Gun. I have Gokai-O and the Legendary Megazord and Gao Lion. Now I'm still waiting to get the rest of the Megazord line from Japan in. So I'll hold off on the Megazord review until I have everything, because I want you to see everything and have a full picture. That's the entire goal of this series. But the next one that will be going up either later today or tomorrow will be the review of the Gokai Gun versus the Super Mega Saber, and the Gokai Gun versus the Super Mega Blaster, and the Gokai Saber versus the Super Mega Saber. So I hope you've enjoyed the show. I hope you learned a lot. And I'm sorry this took 52 minutes to do for you. But I wanted to be thorough. That's why I waited. And have a good night, everyone. This is your host, Nico LLX, a.k.a. Kappa LLX. Just call me LLX. It's all the same to me. Signing out.